Hello, I'm back. I believe we are already live, so let's just get um, going. How's that? So welcome to Skin V5 Live. My in case you don't know who we are, we are experts in uh, holistic acne treatment that helps our customers over acne breakouts for good and improves their health and wellness at the same time. So we are broadcasting from Melbourne today, and it was super hot today in Melbourne, almost 40 degrees, which is about almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and just maybe perhaps drop in the comment if you're watching our show today, where you're watching from, and yeah, we're curious to know where you're watching from. So now a little bit about myself. My name is Judy Chongwood, founder of Skin B5. I'm super passionate about helping others overcoming skin problems because I used to suffer from acne myself as a teenager and young adult. I tried everything under the sun, nothing actually worked until I come across a medical paper that talked about vitamin B5, how it works at high potency as a supplement to overcome acne and inside and out approach. So I started doing a lot of research, and I started combining some scientifically proven nutrition along with vitamin B5, and I experimented on myself. And lo and behold, 2 months later, my skin's completely cleared up and for good. So since then, Skin V5 was born, and I was absolutely passionate about sharing the Skin V5 method with others across the world. But enough about myself. Today is about Leanne and Hope. Hope Ward and Leanne Robson. Takes two to tango really takes on a whole new meaning when it comes to their story in the quest for clear skin and skin wellness. So let me, Hope Ward being the acne sufferer in this story, and Leanne Robson is the professional with a huge heart who truly cares about her customers and her community. And the two of them work together and achieve clear skin results fairly quickly. So let me bring them on board and let you hear from them firsthand their story. Leanne.
Hello.
Welcome. And Hope.
Hello.
Hi. So welcome to the show. So I will meant to also show this before and after photo and you guys together at a pharmacy. It's I just love this photo because it really shows how the two of you form a strong bond, and that is part of your story in the quest for skin wellness. So perhaps in your own words, a little bit about yourself, each of you. Perhaps Hope can start first, and then how you guys actually met.
We met. I went to the doctor's and walked into the chemist straight after with recommendations from the doctor about a different skin brand to use. But Leanne came over to me and she just suggested the Skin B5 range. So I stood there with Dad, and she spoke with me about everything, and there was nothing else that we wanted to choose but that brand, and that is where Leanne and I's story started.
Leanne?
I work in pharmacy, and I've been in pharmacy for 5 odd years now. I met Hope when she had, walked in from the doctor's, a very distraught young lady who, when I finally got to see her face, was devastated about what the doctors were doing. They thought they were at the very last end of what they could actually do for her skin. I said to them, look, can I show you an alternative? It's a fairly new brand into our store. It's wonderful. It's a natural approach and a holistic approach to acne. Took a bit of convincing, and sent Hope and her dad, who is an amazing support for this young lady through this whole journey as well, and said, look, here, let's start with the basics. They bought the whole range, and at that stage we had been given samples to hand out to customers of the masks. So I actually gave Hope some masks and then started our journey from there. And I've watched her grow, and I've watched her blossom into the most amazing young lady that she is today. And I'm very privileged to have her in my life.
And look at her today. She's gorgeous, a gorgeous young person. So having problem with your skin, because I know myself, when I have problem with my skin, I just you can't really you obviously it's really stressful, but every day you spend so much time in the morning before you head out to work, head out to uni, just to try to cover up yourself enough to feel confident to walk out. So how did having a skin problem affect your confidence? Perhaps Hope can share your perspective first, and Leanne can share from your perspective what you see, how having skin problems affect the person's confidence.
Yeah, it affected my confidence hugely, especially going through high school. I was so young when it started, and it was just all hormonal acne. But I just yeah, it completely hid me away, kind of. And I'm such a bubbly, out there kind of person, and it really did shake me up a little bit. So yeah, it did really affect my confidence. But now I can say that I'm completely confident in myself and in my skin.
That's good. So Leanne, from your perspective, like, what did you see how, and obviously not just Hope, but a lot of other people, when they have skin problems, how it affects them? Because obviously the way you see yourself is often different from how other people see the person.
That's correct. And what we might perceive as just a face is a massive issue to this person. And it's not just females, it's males as well. They that same issue with going out there. It is a very emotional issue among our teens, and even more so into young adults, having that acne there. A lot of them usually are at their end of their tethers. Some don't even want to try. I remember Hope having a big hat on and really not looking at my face at all, and to 2 or so weeks later to having her bounce in to show me how her face has changed is just the most heartwarming thing. My greatest gift is I give them the tools, and then they proceed to do all the hard work. I'm just the one there to support them. But it's just so debilitating. And in essence, people can be quite cruel. They can be quite isolating with people who have acne. And that leads to that confidence issue. Well, I'm not going to do things because of this. They change their whole eating patterns, their whole lifestyle. They become quite reserved. They won't participate in group activities. And it is quite, in essence, a debilitating disease, in essence, of what is on their face, because they perceive that everybody is looking at that and criticising them.
Yeah, so I guess a lot of people, I guess, underestimate the effects on, especially young people. All of us know, if you have bad skin, it's obviously it must be stressful, but I don't think people, outsiders, understand the depth of the emotional struggles that you have, especially younger, like you said, Hope, in school. Peer pressure is a huge thing. Like, your world, it's obviously when you grow older, you bring it you're a bit more, I guess, relaxed about how people see you. But when you at school, how your peers perceive you is everything, and what they say, you become super sensitive, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of comments that get thrown around as well that probably don't intentionally try to affect you or think that they're aiming it at you, but it definitely does, pull you back a little bit, and you do feel quite sensitive about those comments.
Yeah, so, and obviously from Leanne's perspective, being a parent yourself, and myself as a parent as well, and obviously if when you know this is happening to a child, it's devastating. You would naturally try to do everything to help them out, wouldn't you?
It is. even when they're not my child, it breaks my heart to see this happening and how cruel it can be that they don't intentionally think that that comment is going to be that hard or that harsh, but they don't know that that person has already been doubting themselves, that everybody is looking at them and things like that. That just exacerbates that confidence to the point where, yeah, they try and either cover it with tons and tons of makeup, which only makes it worse. Yeah, it just breaks my heart. And I just want to see these people happy, healthy, and comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, but I hope you're very lucky to have someone like Leanne, because, you know, obviously there are a lot of people just, you know, see things, but they don't necessarily intervene. But it does take someone who has enough heart and care about the customers and community to say something, because you sometimes, and even myself, I feel the same. Sometimes I thought, you know, am I going to offend the person? So it is actually, you know, bravery to just even, you know, guess what? I'm just going to go talk to them about this. So I really congratulate you, Leanne, and obviously hope you have the you're humble enough to actually listen. Like, quite often, I think one thing is you can say something, but another thing is to have the message received as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never really asked you this question, Leanne, because I hear about your story all the time and interacted with you so many times. I never really asked you. You have so many products in pharmacy, and obviously as a beauty advisor, as a professional, you come across so many products, you know, luxury skincare and everything. So why did you recommend Skin B5 to Hope?
We had the product just most probably a week or two land into the store, and we'd had the training modules, and I had done the online training with it. And I thought, this is a really great way to treat acne. It's not treating it on the outside. It's not doing detrimental damage by drying all the oil on the skin. It's working in a holistic way where it's beating that acne on the inside. It's actually treating the cause. It's not treating the end result. So it's actually working in a twofold manner for these kids to be able to go, yep, I'm taking on the inside that A, is good for me. There's no benzoyl peroxide. There's no nasty chemical reactions. There's not going to be a detrimentalness to their skin 10, 15, 20 years later down the track. It's just a beautiful natural. It's Australian. There's just nothing I don't like. And I, as you said, I do have quite a few different brands across my ranges that are there. But this one, I've had the results. I have the confidence to be able to say to somebody, look, I know this works. I have personal experience from this brand. And I think it's a simple brand, which makes it a lot more user-friendly. Kids don't want to be spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes every morning doing their routine. They don't want to be doing that at night time. That's when it doesn't work, because they spend too much time. How easy is taking a tablet, washing your face and putting a moisturizer on? It's just beautiful, and getting results that they would be getting with other products.
Yeah, results are the key, and obviously we're very grateful to have you believing in us enough to work with our products and see the results for yourself. But you're right. When I still remember the days when I was a teenager, when you have breakouts, I was doing way too much to my skin and doing more damage than good without even knowing it. I was using scrubs, and I was using all sorts of things on my skin, you know, acids and toothpaste and everything, and end up irritating my skin. And I thought, you know, this is getting worse, but without knowing, I was actually doing more damage to the skin and makes the breakout worse. So, you know, Hope, obviously there's so many products out on the market. As you can see, they're targeted to teenagers, and, you know, and obviously, well, I was one of them who fall into a lot of these products that I tried. But eventually, obviously, Leanne introduced you to product. But what actually made you, what's a key thing that made you decided to give Skin B5 a go?
I had used so many supermarket products and just other things that were on the chemist shelves for years, and nothing worked. But when I came across this, I think the thing that got me and my dad the most was that it worked from the inside as well. So it wasn't just on the surface. You actually were helping yourself from the inside, because at the end of the day, your skin problem, it's on the outside as much as it is on the inside. So I think that's what drew us in for it the most.
Yeah, that's we're really lucky to have your dad and yourself obviously educated enough to understand, you know, that possibly is something got to do with your health and wellness, and that's the approach you would take. So so now, how long have you been using the products now? And maybe Hope can start first, but then Leanne can also talk about like how long have you been uh, recommending Skin 5 to your customers? So Hope.
I think it was the end of 2016 or the start of 2017 that I first went into the store and saw Leanne, and I've been using it up until this point now. It's stuck with me. It's easy. You don't even like think about it. You don't have to think about what you have to do. It's just something really simple that has just stuck. And yeah.
That's good. So you're still using it daily, you might like myself too.
Yes, yeah, especially the hydrator. That's probably my favorite product of all.
Mine too. Yeah, so Leanne, how long have you been working with our products now?
Basically, since it landed in that very first pharmacy that I worked in. So that's got to be at least four odd years ago. And it's my go-to. Like I'll say to people, I've got different brands across my store here. I can show you every one of them. But this is the one that I will always recommend first because I know it works. It's not detrimental. It's just, yeah, I have my son on it. He's there. I've got my nieces and nephews or nieces on it. And look, part of it hones into me. My younger brother had really bad cystic acne all over his body. And I just to this very day wish a product like this had been around for him and he would not have half the scarring and detriment that he had. So, yeah, we've got his girls all on it because of the possibility that they may follow through. But it's just one of those products that you fall in love with and you will always recommend.
Well, thank you very much, obviously, for your support and your belief. But scarring, it is actually one of the things that people don't realize. Our formulations can help, and for us at Skin V5, we really appreciate professionals like yourself, Leanne, because there's only so much you can, you know, put in brochures and, you know, social media, all those things, and I guess, you know, having like the length of time that you've been working with our products, accumulated a lot of experience that you can share with other people, because acne is actually very unique. You probably find the same. I find it's not everyone's the same. Like people respond differently. People find, you know, different dosage works differently for them, and just having yourself giving them the guidance, I think they actually get better results too.
Oh, they do. And I think the beautiful thing about it is when they start to see those results and then they come bounding back into the store to show you, hey, look, it's working, it's working. To just see that change. Like I remember seeing Hope come in from when she first started to the journey down the track, just seeing her skin change, but actually seeing her change as well. And it was things like she said, my diet changed. She said, I started looking at my diet. She said, I wasn't eating as much of the junky food types of things because that was comfort food. And she did a lot more research into that side of things, and I saw that change. But I saw a young lady blossom in front of my eyes that is now going to be the most amazing mum to be very, very shortly, and that will pass through her life. And I think, well, I've been an amazing part of that journey, and now I'm still seeing that journey come through with new people coming through, and to be able to share experience and saying, oh, look, I had this person do this is her photo. It's just, yeah, it's heartwarming, it's humbling.
Yeah, we find the same. It's humbling. Like even now, when I hear customers submitting very heartfelt stories to me, I still, you know, get a little bit of a teary eye. You can't help it. And the interesting point that you made over there is we actually get a lot of customers say the same thing. They used to have to, and Hope said the same thing earlier. They used to have very strict diet regime, have to they think avoid a lot of things to a point where they're not really enjoying you know, going out for a meal anymore because it's so strict. So are you obviously while you're on Skin B5 is that's one of the benefits you do get. You don't really have to watch your diet as strictly as you do normally. But do you find that still certain food maybe trigger a like a outburst of fuel when people are in there?
I feel dairy is the thing that triggers me. Dairy and like soft drinks and sugars and things like that. When I first started out with the product, I completely cut out dairy and sugars, and I saw that was a massive help just to not only clear my skin up but just clear everything else up, and I felt so much better for it inside as well as outside. So yeah, diet is definitely a big thing.
And Leanne, how are you finding the relationship with the diet side of things?
I always like to recommend to people that, look, I don't expect you to change your whole diet. Like, there's no way I'm going to ever stop my son having his 9-week Bix and half a litre of milk every morning. But there's simple little changes like we've moved to lactose free, other than the fact that yes, I'm lactose free, but having that change in milk, they can still enjoy their milk, but it just isn't as harsh on their skin. It's bringing in some nice antioxidant type foods like blueberries, bringing in some fruits and veg that are in season that they can do, but it's not making them go on this really massively strict diet that they can't eat this, this and this. Because when you start doing that and you cut out all the enjoyment in life for anybody and everybody, you're not going to want to do it. Whereas they can still continue to enjoy their life. They can still have all of those things. They bring them down into moderation. And that's what I always recommend. It's just checking what you're doing. Maybe if you can swatch this for that, make sure you bring in this. So it's educating them about their diet as well, and there are certain foods that will trigger that acne buildup or that sebum production, and your dairy is your big one.
Yeah, so what sort of word of advice would you give to someone struggling with acne breakouts? So perhaps Hope first.
I think just be religious with your product. So if you are going for Skin B5, something that I would highly recommend if you're just starting out, but be religious and don't give up. Like, it might take a month, it might take a few months, but if you stick at it, you will see the results. And that's probably the one thing, especially with my sister. I've told my sister that when she says it's not working, you just have to stick at it. Like, that's the only advice that I could probably give to anybody.
That is the very key point, Hope, because I guess, nothing, if it's a lie if they said it's going to happen overnight, because especially working with the body, your body needs time. And I often explain to our customers, the way the Skin B5 works is a tool, like Leanne said, to help your body overcome the issues itself. And I guess people often underestimate the power of your own body, how well it can heal and overcome problems as long as you give it help. And that's how I see Skin B5, because really giving your body the tool and the materials it needs to restore the healthy functioning of the skin. And sticking with it is so important, because it's really the continuation and the analogy I often use is like building a house. I said, you're not going to build a house overnight. And when you're building a house, you need to keep doing it day in, day out, and a brick at a time. And also you need to use the right material to build a strong, good house. So that's that would be like the way I describe it. So how about yourself, Leanne? What sort of advice you would give?
That's exactly it. I always explain to them that when you start something new, and especially something like Skin B5, they are going to feel like that it gets worse before it gets better. That body is doing a whole chemical purge, if I say that word. It's getting rid of all of that yuck that is sitting in there, and that is out on their skin. That's where I'll sit there and go to them, just use your mask a little bit more often. Do your spot treatments overnight with your mask on overnight. If you're wearing your makeup, mix it in with this so you're doing it daily. Just doing all those little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to pass on to people from either Judy or from my customers coming back, said, I tried this and it worked really well. it's one of those things. It's no different than any beauty routine that you have. It is persistent. You've got to do it morning and night. You've got to take off that makeup. You've got to wash that face. But the fact that it's just 1, 2, it's great. Do your tablets. Definitely start there. Take a photo. One of the things I say to any new customers is take a photo. You don't have to share it with anybody else. Just keep it on your phone, and each week just take another one. And then we as people on the outside, we will see the difference in your skin. You just won't believe it because you're looking at your face every day. But by doing that photo record, it means that you can look back in 2 or 3 weeks' time and go, oh my God, yes, I was that bad. Oh my God, look at me now. I am seeing results. I am seeing that difference. And that physical looking at makes a big, big difference. And then if they wish to share it, I always recommend, look, pop online to Skin B5. They are amazing. They will help you out. And more than happy for you to share your story and your struggles with it, because everybody's struggle is different, but it's just like Hope said, persistent.
Yeah, and sharing that story, I think when you're suffering from the skin problem, obviously imagining you sharing a story, it's not going to happen. But I'm always surprised once someone's overcome the skin problem. I'm very grateful that a lot of customers share our attitude, which is the more you share, the more you talk about it, it actually helps other people understand it's not just you. It's actually very normal. And by talking about it, you're actually helping other people understand their own situations too. Because, like I said, many people have different skin journey. And they may identify with this one, but they may identify with yours if you share yours, and really help to give them, I guess, work out a way that will help themselves as well. And I'm going to ask you a quirky question I often ask. So what's the quirkiest way that you use Skin B5 for? First?
I used it in my foundation. So before I put my mineral makeup on, I would just mix a little bit of the mask into my foundation, and it didn't feel as heavy on my skin when I used it. It kind of made it a little bit lighter, and it just made me feel like I still had something nice on my skin, even when I was covering up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's actually the ingredients in there, in fact, will help prevent breakouts too. So you won't break out as easy if you're using it with the makeup. So Leanne, do you have any quirky tips using Skin B5?
I always like to recommend people to do your little spot treatment overnight. So if you feel that one coming up, do your normal routine, throw your mask on it overnight, and I can guarantee you it's not anywhere near as bad or almost gone the next morning. All that inflammation seems to be gone. That mask just works a treat. And I've tested that one, so I actually know that one works.
And now I'm going to share mine. I'm not sure if you are I live up in the mountains, and obviously, around nature. And Jasmine, my daughter, 6-year-old, she gets little insects bites here and there, sometimes mosquitoes. So she would come and scratching herself and she's got a bit of eczema too. So when she touches something irritating, she get little red bumps on her skin, and she'll come running to me, say, Mommy, I've got some red bumps. And I would tell her, bring your Skin B5 out, the hydration essence with the Australian botanicals, because it's highly anti-inflammatory. So she will put it on, the next day the little bumps will go away. And I feel have a few other quirks here and there, so I'll share with you later on. Is it Hope's puppy?
Yeah, I think it is.
I would love your little puppy. We're watching it on, obviously, been following your puppy growing up. Yeah, so well, thank you. It's we past 7:30 now, and it's kind of like dinner time, and obviously over there is to your dinner time too. And I forgot to mention Leanne and Hope, they're in sunny Queensland, and I'm in Melbourne. So thank you so much for coming on board. I know that you're 1 hour behind, so right now it would be close to dinner time for you guys. So I won't hold you too much, but I really thank you both for coming on to our show today. I hope we can bring you in some other time to, have another catch up. But yeah, all the best, and yeah, good to see you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Judy. It's always a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine.
Take care, everyone.